What's up guys? Welcome back to Babe's Kitchen. And today we're going to be making a Caribbean dish. We're going to be making some curry chicken, okay? And we're going to be making it Babe's way in Babe's Kitchen. So it may be a little different than some Caribbeans do it, but it's all good. And that's what cooking's about. You put your own twist to it and you have a lot of fun with it, okay? So let's go to get to making that chicken. Okay, so for this dish, for the curry chicken, you're gonna cut up your vegetables. I already pre-cut mine. You got your thyme, you got your garlic, and you got your green onion, or scallion, some people call it, and you have your onions, and then you have your potatoes. That thickens up the gravy for the curry and also tastes nice mixed with it, but you don't have to use potato if you don't want to. Okay, so those are your vegetables cut up, and now we're going to get to your chicken. Okay, so like always, you're going to wash off your chicken. I cut up a couple of legs and thighs. You can add white meat if you'd like. I just put what I prefer. And you don't have to cut it up. That's just what I did. I took the skin off, and you don't have to take the skin off if you prefer it on. And I made little slits in the chicken just so the flavoring and everything soaks through. So I already pre-washed the chicken with some vinegar. And you can use vinegar, lemon juice, or lime, and rinse it off. And the seasoning we're going to use, of course, we're going to use some curry. I have hot Grace curry. They have it in mild and regular. And you also could use Blue Mountain, any name. Pretty much all the curries taste pretty much the same or good. I don't have any complaints. So I'm going to use this one. And then since the curry has most of the seasoning, we're just going to use very light seasonings of other stuff. Just a little bit of seasoned salt, a little bit of my adobo orange, and then of course some ginger. Whenever you use curry, you want to use a little ginger. You can use the regular ginger, the fresh ginger. If you don't have any, I happen not to have any today, so I'm using my ground powdered ginger, which works just as well. And then we're going to use some, this thing is called Jira. This helps boost the flavoring in your curry. You don't have to use a lot of it, you just use a little tip, and that will help you out. And if you can't find Jira, you can't get it, don't worry, you can cook it without it. And some black pepper, of course. And also I throw in my little bouillon. I like the caldo de tomato, the chicken flavor with tomato in it. You just throw in one of those for the flavoring. And that's pretty much that. And so we can just get to seasoning up this chicken. All right, so I'm gonna put on my black pepper. All right, I'm gonna put on some ginger. I'm going to use just a little seasoned salt, because like I said, the curry has salt itself, so you don't want to make your curry too salty. So just a sprinkle of seasoned salt, a slight sprinkle of adobo orange, and what I told you about my little Jira. I'm just going to do a little tip of the Jira to boost the taste. And this is also by Chief. If you don't find it in your regular market, you can find it in different brands. You can find it in the local Caribbean store. Okay, so I'm going to put a little Jira, just a little tip to boost the taste. You don't need to put a lot of that. All right. Okay, we've got our Jira, and then of course we're going to use our curry seasoning. So with this, some Caribbeans, they like to put the curry on when it's in the pot. They don't like to put the curry on right now. What they do is, you can do it this way as well. You hot your oil, and you put the curry in the oil, mix with your Jira and your ginger, and then you just stir your chicken into it. But I like to do it a little different. I like to put some curry on. I do it both ways, actually, in one. I put the curry on now. And then I also, when I'm getting to the stove, I'm going to put a little curry in the oil and add the ginger and a little bit of the Jira to the oil. So that's the way I like to do it. I like to do it that way. So like I said, you know, everyone has their own way of cooking, but this is just my little tips that I use in Babe's Kitchen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a spoon to stir this up. I don't want to get the curries all up in my fingers and everything. So let me go get my spoon. All right, so we're just gonna stir these ingredients all up in the bowl. That way you don't get the curries on your fingers or anything like that. And as you stir it, you can add, you know, a little bit more of the curry, ginger. You just look at how it looks. You see the missing spots, you pour it on. You can add a little more pepper, a little bit more of everything. And I actually wouldn't add a little bit more of the salt, seasoned salt in adobo, because it's salt enough, like I told you, the curry seasoning. So just stir that up in the bowl. And this is real fast and easy. I recommend mothers out there, if you have daughters, like teenage daughters, they can watch my channel, learn how to cook. I know sometimes as a mom, you're busy, you don't have time to teach them, you're at work, you know. So, and also they can be, ooh, sorry about that, I dropped the camera, guys. But also these, they can be a backup for you. If you're coming home late, you can say, hey, Gina, go start this chicken for me. You know, they can get it started for you, or they can totally cook it for you, you know, which would be great. All right, so we have that all stirred up, looking nice and juicy. So we're gonna get this chicken over to the pot. I have the oil, I have it on medium right now, and I have the oil getting hot in the pot. And we're just gonna get over to the stove. Okay, we're at the stove. I'm just gonna add a little, I have a little vegetable oil that I use. Doesn't matter what brand, you can use vegetable oil. If you prefer olive oil, it's up to you. So I'm gonna add my little curry to the oil. Gonna add my little ginger to the oil. You hear it sizzling up there because the stove is hot. Ginger and a little bit of the jeera there to give it that kick. There we go. Let that curry cook down for a little bit. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna, you know, just add the chicken in and stir up that extra curry in with the chicken and let it cook down. So this is a real simple, fast and easy meal. You don't have to hover over the stove. And a funny thing that my husband says, oh, the pot's doing the cooking, not you. Funny, right? But actually, he's actually right. So it does make it real quicker. You can multitask while that's cooking on the stove. You can start your rice, clean up the dishes, stuff like that. So looks like everything is nice and hot. Curry is a little fried here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add that chicken into this. Fry up in there, smells so good. I just made a small portion because I do have leftovers, so I didn't want to go crazy with it today, just in case somebody wants something a little different. Alright, so what you want to kind of do is spin that chicken around in that oil and the curry and the ginger. You want to kind of spin it around in it. And you kind of, it's like a form of searing the curry chicken before you actually cook it down. Make sure it gets that nice yellow curry look to it. Let's see it. Mix it all up into that gravy. Get all the pieces up in there. Flip them over. You see how some of them are getting that nice curry look to it already. So that's what the oil and the mixture of the seasoning is doing. Okay, everything is looking good there. So you do that for, you know, maybe about a minute or two, looking good. And now we can add our vegetables in there. All right, we're gonna add our garlic, our thyme, our green onion, our potatoes in there. And actually, I'm actually not gonna add the potatoes right away, so scratch that, because the potatoes cook pretty fast. So we're gonna wait maybe like 15 minutes and add the potatoes in, so that way they don't melt down too much. But I'm gonna put a couple of the potatoes in now, actually, just to give it that thickness of the gravy and the flavoring. Okay, so I'm gonna add those in. Thyme, garlic. It's good to cook with a lot of garlic. It's good for you and it gives the best flavor to your food. I'm gonna add my green onion, my scallion, and my onion. And I'm gonna add my pepper. You don't have to add any pepper, but I like it spicy, so I'm gonna add a little pepper. And like I said, just add a couple of potatoes for now to get the juices going, the curry and everything. In about 15 minutes, I'll add the rest of the potatoes. All right, so what we're gonna do is cover the pot. Get my pot cover. All right, putting my pot cover here. We're gonna cover it up and let that simmer down. And we're gonna, we can actually turn this down to a medium-low level here, so the curry can build up its juices and everything. Shake the pot a little bit, have everything spread around. It's going to produce its own water, its own gravy. So you kind of let it simmer down and cook a little bit. All right, and we'll be back with adding the additional potatoes. All right, see how nicely that's cooking down? So it's time to add the additional potatoes. I'm going to add in my, you can do this at the beginning. I just kind of forgot to put it in. I'm going to do it now. This is my bouillon. I'm just crushing it, putting it in. It's going to melt down in there. You don't even have to crush it. You can just actually put it in. And then I'm just going to add my additional potatoes here. You see how it built up its nice water? It has a lot of juices, a lot of curry gravy there. And the potato, like I said, will help the gravy to get a little thicker, nice and yummy. All right, just add the rest of my potato. And you can do this with a side of rice and peas. If you like Spanish rice, you could even do it with Spanish rice. White rice. Usually I like to do it with some white rice. Or, you know, you can do whatever you prefer with it. And you make sure those potatoes get down into the gravy so they can cook up. All right. Okay, so we're gonna let this cook, and all it takes maybe about 45 minutes to finish cooking this. And like I said, the pot's doing the cooking. Or like my husband says, the pot is doing the cooking. So right now I'm just gonna rinse out some dishes in between while this cooks down, and I'll be back with our cooked curry. Okay, hey, in about 20-25 minutes in, you do want to stir things around, make sure the meat is cooking on both sides, and make sure your potatoes are not, because they melt down quick. You don't want the gravy to get too thick where it starts to burn. So you just use your judgment. If you need to turn the stove down a little lower, I'm going to turn this down a little bit lower since the food is starting to cook now, and let it just cook actually medium to low fire. And then what you can do, if you do see this starting to stick a little bit because of the potatoes, you can add a little water. Not a lot of water to lose all your flavoring, but you add a little water as you go along. So if you see it starting to stick at the bottom there or anything like that. Okay, so that was just a quick tip, and we'll be back with you with our finished curry dish. Okay guys, here we have it, our finished curry chicken, looking delicious. There's just a little, the thyme is cooked in, and there's a little fresh thyme on the top, just for decoration. It's all in the presentation. Okay, so definitely give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you next time. Bye.